The next question actually comes from both Barbara and Mary. The questions are similar, and what they are asking about is the same thing that it seems like everybody's talking about, which is the new video that's come out where the doctor is talking about it's hydroxychloroquine plus zinc plus azithromycin, or the Z-Pack is another way to call it, is the cure for COVID, and says a lot of stuff in there that's just really bad and really wrong. But let's approach this a different way, because I don't know, we've yeah done these before, and I think I've just got a feeling that the people that are drawn to this are drawn to the anger. They're drawn to the feelings. They may even be recognizing something. And here I'm totally guessing, but there's something inherently annoying in some egghead telling you what to do who you don't even know. For example, it's a common problem. It's a problem I have. I get all bent out of shape when somebody's telling me what to do, or when I get pulled over, and that's not good. And this is a thing that you can keep under control, and I really try to keep under control, but it's a very natural human emotion. The sort of, who are you? How do you even know me? And what gives you the right to tell me what to do? That kind of thing. It's also a sentiment that comes out in odd times and places. Like now, all of a sudden, we're going after doctors, and scientists, which is, not, I don't know, not smart, but whatever, yeah. Just because we're going after people whose job it is to take care of other people, and in the doctors and nurses and stuff, and going after scientists. These are people whose job is to try to predict the future in a way that'll actually work, in a way that'll actually be safe without killing anybody. And going after the people that are trying their darndest to be careful, that's, I don't know, one part mean, one part counterproductive, probably. It makes me feel bad every time. Every time somebody else starts drinking the COVID conspiracy water out of the office cooler. Yeah. So, all right, let's look at just this. It's crazy town stuff. There's the idea. So a long time ago, let's say March and April, you could legitimately say that hydroxychloroquine isn't proved, but there's a chance. There's a chance it might work, and people are doing studies. And the first couple of studies were nice and positive. Thing is, coronavirus kills 1% of the people it infects. And so it is easy to give 20 people this treatment and have all 20 of them live. Because until you have at least 100 people in there, there's not a reasonable chance that even one person dies. And you can always explain that away as saying, oh, this person had diabetes, or he was male, or he was really old. This was bound to happen, but look at all the good I did over here. That's why in science you're not allowed to do things that way, because that doesn't lead to results that we can trust. And that's the job of science. That's why it is so difficult, because you can't just think of something and say, well, I've thought of it, or I've heard it from somebody I trust, it must be true. You've got to always try to be skeptical. You got to look for the data, and you got to dig into it, and you got to look at the statistical value. Now, statistics aren't the way, most people, including like me until a couple of years ago, use the word. You think statistics, oh, that's, how many people died today? Is it 200? Is it 150? Whatever. Statistics are this branch of science that deals with uncertainty. And they deal with how much data you have to have and how big a difference you have to have between two things before you can say they are meaningfully different. And the idea is that if you need to show that whatever treatment you're doing is meaningfully better than either no treatment at all or some other treatment. And there are a bunch of giant studies that have come in, and they've had hydroxychloroquine on its own. They've had it in combination with azithromycin. They've had azithromycin on its own, and there are other studies that have used zinc alone or in combination with these things. And the large studies, the studies that actually had enough people to where you could tell the difference, do not show any effect. That means that azithromycin and hydroxychloroquine has exactly as much effect as you standing on one foot and spinning in a circle. It has exactly as much effect as you saying, I don't know, Leroy Jenkins, and then charging straight into a COVID party. That is to say, it has no effect. There's no substantiated effect. There are different kinds of truth in the world. This is something that I'm resistant to, but you know what? I get it now. I'm starting to get it more. Uh, for a lot of people, maybe for you, maybe for me at some level, what you feel or what you can find on your own on the internet feels like something that's yours. And something, if somebody wants to take that away, that feels bad. I get where that is. When you're a scientist, though, and anybody can be a scientist, you just have to think like a scientist. You have to think in this careful way and following a certain method. And then, yeah, it's how we get to the problem, rather, how we get to the solution to a problem that actually works. It's how we don't crash the plane. It's how we make a cell phone that you can actually call people that you love on. It's how we have vaccines for the flu that protect people and don't kill them. It's how all the good things in your life are able to happen because we don't have that much disease and hardship. It's how we as a human, I don't know, human race sounds weird, but as a species, a human species, are able to confront the unknown and to kind of band together and figure stuff out. It's exactly the same method as good mechanics or good doctors would use in trying to diagnose what is wrong with your car or your heart or your plumbing or whatever. It is simply a thing that works, and we all kind of do instinctively at some times, and we all kind of maybe lose sight of occasionally when it's somebody telling them, saying, don't do that. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that thing that you want to do, which is annoying. It's fundamentally annoying. The antidote is to read the papers yourself. The papers are they can be hard going, and it's hard to tell a good paper from a bad paper maybe. But digging into it, the key is you want to see how many people were involved in the paper. You want to look, and you're probably going to have to dig into the materials and methods or the supplementary material because they bury this stuff even though it's super important. You need to know, what did they do in this one to randomize the sample? You want to see studies that are done that are called double blind, which is where you have a third party that's not the doctor and it's not the patient, that is the only one who knows whether the patient got treatment A or treatment B, hydroxychloroquine or a delicious sugar pill that looks just the same. And yeah, you need that in there. You need a statistics section. And you're going to have to go and look up or maybe ask somebody who does this for a living. I frequently have to seek help because even as a kind of a mostly scientific thinking person, which I try to be, it's a thing you can like become, but you have to work at it, I would say. But even as this person, I know I am not great. And I know there are people that are better than me at this. And it takes, it doesn't feel great at times. But also, from another perspective, it's kind of a relief to be able to go to somebody who is really good at a thing and just say, can you help me with this? And then they do it. And then you can say, yeah, and you can relax. It's what we do when we go to get our hair cut. You don't want just anybody messing around up there. It's what we do all the time. We're forever going to specialists and trusting them. We're forever trusting the pilot of the plane to, do the right plane things and go up and, come down at the right place and at the right time and at the right speed. Nobody goes up and tries to tell them what to do. If you know somebody that's, I don't know, maybe feeling like this stuff is really striking a chord, I guess the way to talk to them is maybe to say, all right, what's the thing that you're good at, and whatever it is, it doesn't matter. Imagine somebody coming up to you and telling you that, yeah, everything you're doing is wrong and stupid, and that this other thing, that doesn't work is going to be fine. It's actually better than anything you could do. Think how annoying that would be. That's what life is like if you if you I don't know. That's what my life feels like right now. It just feels like arguing with people that don't want to listen and don't really care and aren't here and probably wouldn't say it to my face even if they were here. And that's frustrating. I think I've called it similar to trying to push a mountain up a slightly higher mountain. Just you can push as hard as you want, but you'd never actually know if you're getting any results. And this is another one of those messages. I'm gonna cork it up in a bottle, fling it out into the ocean that is YouTube, and maybe it goes somewhere. Maybe you see this. Maybe it changes somebody's mind somewhere, and maybe they have a little better life. Maybe they're protected, or somebody that they love doesn't die. You can't go back and prove how many people don't die, but you can show that time and time again, when people keep thinking that they've got the answer and the answer is opposite to what those egghead scientists have been saying, that's the thing that comes before another big coronavirus spike time and time again. I mean, we've done this. And there's still room for new solutions. There's still room for an answer out there that nobody's even thought of before. And the way to do it is to test it and to explore new things. The way to not do it is to keep going back to the same old things. Keep looking in that same drawer where you've been looking and your keys aren't in there. They're down the couch again. They're somewhere else. Yeah, you got to keep looking at new things, and not everything that intuitively seems like it could work will. That's something you learn when you try to make antivirals, which is something that I've dabbled in from time to time. And it's just, there's so many things that seem like they should work that on paper are going to be awesome, and then you try them out, and it's a little heartbreaking just to watch that little dream die, especially when it's your dream and you're the one that killed it. But that's the job. And that's kind of all of our job. COVID-19 has a solution, and the solution is not scientific, weirdly. Maybe someday it will be, but the solution is social. The solution is people and communication, and somehow getting through to one more person and then to one more person after that. Until eventually, I guess things are okay. Yeah. All right. That's enough of that. Yeah. Have a good night. This is Dr. Ben, and for God's sake, yeah, put on a mask.